like it just really well designed. I think you used to always think that everything in theme parks is on a grand scale, whereas when you walk through that alleyway, you feel like it's a real personal journey just for you. Like you're the only one turning that corner. So yeah, it's nice to have London here.
I'd say also Diagon Alley, particularly the Magical Menagerie. I feel like that's just Linda's shop. She would love that place because it has all these amazing creatures that don't look like our animals, and yeah, I like it because it's like a glimpse into a world that we didn't see. Because you know, every country has their own set of animals, and that's part of their culture. And I feel like seeing the insight into the magical, well, the fantastic beasts, I should say, it just gives us more of a glimpse of the world. And yeah, I just love that shop. It's really beautiful.
Brian.
Hey, I've got Larissa from Kentucky, and she's got a great question for Ivana.
Okay, hi Ivana, you're my idol and I love you. So I want to know what the last scene you filmed was for Harry Potter and how you filmed the Mom and Young cut.
Last scene, it was nice. The last scene was one of those big ones because I was afraid it was going to be just like some lousy shot of my hand or something, because that often happens. There's an anticlimax. But the last scene I shot was the big one in the courtyard where it's the face-off with Voldemort and the Death Eaters. I can't remember the exact shot, but it was just one like I didn't feel like there wasn't a lot of pressure on me. I didn't have anything to say, but it just felt. It was definitely the perfect way to end, like with the whole family, and I just felt very numb, to be honest. And also, I didn't, because people kept talking about the end and how sad it was, and I used to just have so much fun on set that it wasn't till I was leaving, I was changing out my costume and realizing, oh, it's not mine anymore. You know what felt like mine, the radishes and the purple, all the purple. It just like I was releasing it to someone else. I was like, oh damn, it's Warner Brothers, you know. So yeah, that's when I really started crying and broke down, threw a bit of a tantrum in the producer's office. Yeah, just it was a mix of emotions, but I was really happy to be with everyone, like the whole Potter family on the last day.
Rusty.
I have Sierra here. Samira, I'm real good with things. She is from Miami and has a question for you.
This happened to me last year. On set, did it taste the same as the food here, like the butterbeer? Did it taste the same as it does here? I'm already getting an answer from you. So does the butterbeer taste the same?
We didn't even have butterbeer on set, so that was like this is the first time we got to try it. Was exactly in the same shoes as you guys.
See, they care more about you guys than our.
Yeah.
They're like, we want the fans to love it.
We
Even
actually-
if they're actors, you can pretend.
I remember asking the props guys how they put the foam on the fake butterbeer, and it's much like how you make drinks like whiskey sours or pisco sours. You whip egg whites, and so they use the egg whites, and then they put it on like a really terrible like soda. It tasted horrible. So
You actually want to drink that?
yeah.
Julia.
Yes, I have Tira with me from Orlando. Hi, any fun regrets while filming?
Any fun regrets?
Fun regrets.
It's an oxymoron, if I've ever heard one.
Possibly eating the food.
Tag on to the last one.
Yeah, I kind of about the last question. Yeah, there was one scene where I had to it was just breakfast cereal, but it was called Cheery Owls. So I got really excited and ate loads of it. And after a while, I was like, this is just Cheerios with nice packaging. Yeah, always eat the food. And that's the thing. Once you ate it in the first shot, you had to keep eating it.
How long? What's the longest
Depends
you
on how
had?
many takes it took. And with David Yates, always at least 10.
I haven't had I literally just had a fun regret, not on set, but I just stayed like a whole
pint of butterbeer. So I'm on like a massive sugar high right now, which is why I'm not saying anything because my mind's just like blank. Yeah.
Did you go with a frozen butterbeer or?
No, just the normal cold one.
Maybe someone spiked it. Maybe you'll.
Maybe. I'm literally, yeah, I'm up there somewhere.
She's got Butterfreeze going on. All right, Erin.
Christina here. She is from Massachusetts with a question for the panel.
Hi, I had a question. My question was, is there anything Alan Rickman had taught you guys, something positive that you could carry on to your careers?
Is there something that Alan Rickman taught
Maybe-
you guys
maybe as an
or
actor,
as an
maybe.
actor that you guys will carry on through your careers?
Yeah, so, he helped. Some of you might know I have a problem with laughing uncontrollably in appropriate times, and he did help me with that. He used to always tell me to. I'm not gonna do his voice, but he used to tell me to relax my face, and then I won't laugh. It kind of worked. Yeah.
I mean, me personally, it's not so much actual piece of advice that he gave. I think a lot of it was the way that he held himself. You know, the professionalism, the charm, the humour. You know, a lot of people can get very worked up about our industry and can get very stressed and worry. And I think one of the things that I learned from Alan and everyone else, actually, I know you tell the story about Helen having a similar thing, it's the idea of just have fun. You know, have fun with what you're doing. We're so fortunate to be doing our job, to be doing what we love. And every day you saw Alan, you know, and he put in an incredible performance as Snape. But he was always having fun with it. And that's something that I try and take away, definitely.
I just think as well, pure commitment, like so committed to the role and so took it seriously. And I think there's a distinction between, like, you have to not take yourself seriously as an actor, but take the character seriously. And he just always, I mean, of all the people on set, like, I've heard other people say that in conversations with him, but whenever I would, like, in those scary moments, I made eye contact, I just felt chilled, you know, like, other people, I think, they will try to smile or try and reach out to you or something, but he was always just so committed to his character, and I just think that shows on screen, and I think it shows he had so much respect for his character, and that's what I like to try and find now. Because then when I met him one time out of character, he was so nice and sweet, and he was just generous personally, and it really made me think how much he goes into his characters, how much of himself he sacrifices for his character.
I remember when he passed away, I was, you know, on the internet reading about all the things that he had said, you know, all his kind of like famous quotes, and one of them, I'm just paraphrasing here, but he mentioned about how, you know, as actors we're kind of tools for making a change in the world, and that I thought was really beautiful because I think it's true, and yeah, it takes you out of yourself and makes you think about, you know, how you can make, you know, the world a better place without thinking about, you know, without overthinking about your acting or anything. If you bring it out of yourself, then it just gets easier.
Yeah, I think obviously for most of us, it was our first experience ever acting in Harry Potter. So we were very much almost children playing children in those early movies. And I think it was people like Alan that we had the fortunate experience to be with that really inspired us and shifted our perspective of what we were doing. And what we were doing wasn't just sort of playing kids, but we were actually doing a creative profession, and his charisma was just infectious. Like, you'd step on set and the energy shifted in the room, and I think as young children, I think we're all just so grateful to be able to have the opportunity to look up to someone like that, and it was like our own kind of mini drama school, mini film school, and I think he was always really playful. Like he knew that he could wind us up, and he knew that we were incredibly scared of him sometimes, and I think he took the liberty to like wind us up in a positive way. So so I think we're all very sad that he's left us, but luckily we have his movies that he lives on.
Brian.
Hey guys, I have Chelsea from Orlando, Florida, and I'll tell you what, she's been standing in the same spot pretty much since 9 a.m. yesterday to ask this question.
Pleasure. I just was curious if there was a set or a location in all the years that you filmed that you feel the strongest, like emotion or just happy memory from.
Is there a specific location or set you feel the most connection to?
I remember being, you know, when you're really young and the half years between the real years are like a big deal. So you don't say you're 10, but you're 10 and a half, and you don't say you're 11. You're like. So I remember working out. Obviously, my first scene was on platform 9 3/4 in King's Cross, and I remember being really thought it was a really cool idea that I was actually the age of 9 3/4 on platform 9 3/4. So that set obviously was the first experience of any of the Harry Potter world and film set for me. So that will always remain a really strong place for me as a character in person. And I managed to finish the entire series on platform 9 3/4 as the older Ginny Weasley with my family. So
That was full circle.
it did. It literally came full circle. Yeah.
Anybody else?
Yeah, so my character was always just wandering along corridors, and so I don't really have a set at a moment on, but a set that I just loved, and kind of sometimes on lunch breaks, and it was only there for a little bit, I would go and have lunch there. It was the Lovegood House, because they had all this beautiful artwork, which I don't think you even really get to appreciate in the film, but they had all the creatures, like a mural around the wall, and they had the dirigible plums, which are what people call the radishes that she wears, but they're actually dirigible plums. And it just was nice. It was like, because I think her beliefs in their little world are often dismissed as being fantasy, and this was this little place that where the fantasies were realized and where they were celebrated. So yeah, I loved hanging out at the Lovegood House, but it was quickly knocked down, so it only lasted a few weeks.
It's nice while it lasted. All right, Rusty.
Evan from Georgia, and he has a question for you.
What was the craziest thing that ever happened?
While you were filming.
Way to narrow that down, Rusty. Just trying to be specific.
I love that question. The craziest thing that ever happened. Dan hyperventilated in the Great Wall. I don't know what caused that. I think it was when we were, do you remember that? When we were clapping.
One of the many.
Which, when was it?
It's like one of the first, maybe the second film.
Yeah.
We were all clapping at the end.
Oh, right, okay.
Dan hyperventilated.
Why?
I don't know, because he got overexcited. Right?
He gets very excited.
Yeah, he does get
He gets
excited.
very excited. That's pretty crazy.
I think that fits in the realm. All right, Julia.
Yes, I'm over here. I have Mercedes with me from Pittsburgh.
Hi, I was just letting you know I do have a tattoo on my foot that says "Follow the Spiders." Just for
No way.
Prove it.
No way. Can't see.
It's right here.
right here.
Where are you?
Where are you?
Over here.
Oh,
I can't see. Oh, there, yeah, I see.
And so I got it because it means face your fears because you were scared of spiders. So I wanted to know what each one of your guys' fears were and if you've ever conquered them. Oh, and you forgot to do the rap earlier, so.
Oh, my God. No way.
That would be his biggest fear.
Yeah.
Let's go with the fear first.
I'll definitely do it at the end. I just need to do a bit of a warm-up. I will do it, I promise. I'll try to remember. Oh my god. Quickly, somebody answer the questions.
Biggest fear. Have you conquered this?
Mine is actually spiders, and no, I have never conquered that fear. I actually had hypnotherapy for it in New Zealand. Didn't work. I think I'm even more scared of spiders now. I was once trapped in my kitchen by a spider. And I lived with my mate Nick at the time, and he was on a night out, and I paid for him to come home in a taxi to kill the spider, and then a taxi back into his night out, because I wanted to go to bed and I couldn't get out of the kitchen. I really hate spiders.
Anybody else got a fear? All right. Aaron.
Okay, guys, I have Jared. He is a local. He has a fun question for everyone.
Okay, my question is, if any creature in the wizarding world was real, which one would you want to have as a pet and why?
I mean, spiders are real.
I would like to have Ginny's one, which is a pygmy puff, because who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want a nice little pink fluffy sort of shoulder companion?
I have a hippogriff as a pet.
No.
Vaughn, what would you have?
There's a problem here where I get confused between the beasts of Fantastic Beasts and Avatar. And I was about to be like a flying bison, which is Avatar, I think. I'd like a flying bison or a Charmander. No, again, I'm so confused. I love the Kneazles. You know the Kneazle, it's in the Magical Menagerie. It's just this giant orange cat with a little tufty tail. I think that's the only thing that's missing from my cat, magic powers. So yeah, Kneazle.
Brian.
I got CJ from Cape Coral, Florida. Great question here for the panel.
Hey guys. You guys are such prolific people. I was wondering, do you guys do anything with your fame to create a positive change in the world?
Do you guys use your fame in any way to create a positive change in the world? Or like, yeah, if you had the chance, what would you do? Do you like volunteer or?
Obviously the fact that we have a voice to even sit right here and you guys are listening is an incredible, weird, bizarre feeling.
Absolutely.
In my own time and passion, I do work with organisations from Oxfam to Global Poverty Project, and truly believe that we're a generation that should see the end of the eradication of poverty, and I believe it shouldn't really be a word that should be in any sentence. And I think that's what's been so amazing from this experience, is that actually we have a platform and a voice to speak on with so many people, and I think Joe's stories are very much in that idea that we each have our voice and we each have our story that's as important as any other student at school or anything, and the fact that we're in an ensemble cast meant that there was always someone that you could like as an audience member. I'm very fortunate and feel that I don't necessarily feel it's right that I have to use that opportunity to speak up, but it's just something that I've chosen to do.
Yeah, I think with anyone sort of in the public eye that has an opportunity, as Bonnie says, I think we all feel a certain degree of responsibility that we can use that voice. I think we all do our individual charity things. Personally, I've got the Leeds Rhinos Foundation is one that aims to change children's lives through sport and getting kids active and getting them out and about and teaching leadership skills. And I'm an ambassador for Help for Heroes, which is a UK charity for the armed forces, for our servicemen and women.
Have you ever thought about using that to eradicate spiders?
Yeah, I mean, I hate spiders, but I wouldn't want to kill any of them. I'm quite charitable in that sense.
There you go, see? Did you get your friend to do it? Ivana?
I just always think this isn't necessarily charity work, but I always think it's important for people in high-profile positions to just be honest. I think that, like, so many people, like, there is a sense of separation, and people think, oh, you have it all figured out. And I think I found it, like, even being around these guys and getting to know them, it's always inspired me the way they let themselves be vulnerable and talk about things that afflict them, that you're like, oh, I get it too, you know? So just like being honest and open. And then my personal cause is an animal rights activist. And yeah, I love doing that stuff. And I went vegan last year. And thanks, some vegans here. It's just something I've got so much, I've learned so much from animals, and I don't think it's right that we use them and abuse them unnecessarily. And yeah, I just think the more kind of equality and compassion we have for other species, the better we are. I've certainly found, because I think I started doing, I'm going to do some good in the world, and it inspired me more, and it made me feel more centered. I find I'm learning as much from it as whatever I'm doing for it. So.
Yeah, I'm a supporter of this organisation called the Act for Change Project, which was based in the UK, and they've just become a registered charity, which is amazing. And they support diversity within the arts, which I think is lacking on our television screens, on stage at the moment. So I hope to be, a representative of those, of a truer reflection of our society, and hopefully that'll change, with time. Yeah.
That's great. Rusty.
Jonelle, and she is from faraway Florida, with a question for you guys.
First, I just wanted to say, hey, Matt.
Hi.
This question is for everyone. Besides your own character, if you could play anybody else, who would it be and why?
Besides your own character, who would you play and why?
And we get this question quite a lot, and we tend to change our answer every time.
I felt quite uncomfortable with our last answer.
Yeah.
Don't know if anyone heard that. I think I said I wanted to be Hermione so I could kiss myself. Which I do regret. I want to retract that.
I said I wanted to be Hermione so I could kiss Rupert Grint. Which I do regret, and I want to retract that.
That actually does hurt.
It just wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be, that's all. I haven't kissed him.
I'm changing it again because we've been asked this question so many times. We've probably been through every character. I'd like to be a centaur. I like them. Except, oh wait, no, there's no ladies. I'd be the first lady centaur. Yeah. Mix things up, cause some drama in the forest.
I don't have an idea, but also just saying that every single person who's dressed up or worn any type of costume today, like hats off to you guys, because you all look great. And people who've made their own costumes, that's like super, hats off.
All right, Julia.
I'm from North Carolina with a question for Bonnie. How did the whole Weasley family feel when they realized that Ginny
have them. So I would say it was pretty fun being like the youngest Weasley and with all my other older brothers. I think all the Burrows scenes that we had were, to me, the fondest memories, just in the sense that those scenes really represented family. You know, Harry didn't have a family, so it was really enjoyable to represent that in the film. I don't think is Judy the most powerful Weasley?
No.
Well, maybe we have a little battle there. I don't know. I mean, we were strong as a team, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll settle that.
The second comment for Bonnie.
Arm wrestle.
You are the most powerful because none of you guys would have gone out of the ministry without your Reducto curse.
This is true. Which is the best, my favorite spell is Reducto. I mean, who doesn't want to destroy anything with a single spell? Well, yeah, okay, I'll take that then. I'll be the strongest.
It's settled.
Go, Jimmy.
All right, Aaron.
Okay, guys, I have Tiffany over here. She is from Orlando, Florida. With a question for the panel.
Hi. Alright, so first of all, I love you guys, mainly Rupert, but you know, whatever. Kind of have a mix of genders. But my question is, if you guys were famous actors, what would your chosen profession be?
If you get into acting, what would you do?
Well, yeah. I'd be an ice cream man, yeah.
You've already got the truck.
I've got the truck, yeah. I'm all ready to start.
It's done.
What's that? Come, Wales! Oh, nice! Yeah, I can come to Wales, yeah, definitely. What's that? Oh, Bristol, okay, yeah. I'll do a world tour in the ice cream man.
Rupert Grint's Ice Cream World Tour. Do that.
Can we come as like sort of roadies or groupies? Or
Yes, yeah. No, I need all the help. Yeah.
Put a couch in there or something, and a TV, and the ice cream to make sure you can travel in style, especially if you're going all the way to Brazil.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Thank you.
Be awesome. I like it. All right, Brian.
Hey, I've got Riley back here, way back in the cheap seats, all the way from Orlando, Florida. She's got a question for the entire panel here.
Hello. So Universal has Hogsmeade and Diagon already. If you could bring one more magical place, what would it be?
That question was, if you guys could bring one more place from the magical world to life here at Universal Studios, what would it be?
I'd like the Forbidden Forest. There's just so much about that I feel that we never got covered in the books or the film. I imagine there could be so much they could do there, and I'd like to get lost in the Forbidden Forest. It'd be really cool.
I can't choose. I had like 100 and split second in my mind. I would say probably said enough about the Weasley family, so I know that we won the Burrows. But I think like the Triwizard Tournament would be pretty cool to have. I mean, each of us, like you know, you play a part and you play the game yourself. That'd be really cool.
I agree. I think it would be cool to do the underwater challenge and see the mer people and rescue Katie. Go rescue Joe. Yeah, because the mer people were so weird, and I think underwater just has a magical charm of its own, even without all the stuff, and it's so quiet and eerie. And I also can't swim, so I'd like to be on a ride that just pretends I can swim and be a mermaid.
I wish we had a Quidditch pitch. That would be really great. Yeah.
All of those things could happen, you never know. Rusty, we got time for a couple more questions.
Okay, I have Kenya here. She's all the way from Puerto Rico. And brought quite a few family members with her, I see. She has a question as well.
Hi, I'm Kenya.
Congratulations.
My question is for Rupert. Have you gone to the Red Pride Rocket?
Yes, I have. I did it 2 days ago. The music wasn't working though, so I did it in silence.
Oh, okay. If you did it on silent, would you go with me?
Yes.
Oh my god!
Maybe if it's not working, you can just rap yourself, like.
Just provide the soundtrack.
Is it that time? Is it time for the rap?
Almost. Julia.
Great question.
Hi, hey guys. I love all of you. You all have inspired me since my childhood, especially to become an actor and a filmmaker. I guess my question is, what's next in your careers? Like, what do you guys want to do with your life, like acting or not acting or whatever? Especially Rupert. I want to say hi to Rupert.
Hey, how you doing? What's next for you guys?
Well, I've got a film out at the moment called Moonwalkers. About the moon landing conspiracy theory. So yeah, go and see that. Yeah, there's a few other things that are kind of on the horizon, but yeah, it's just really fun to do new things now, and I really enjoyed doing some theatre as well. That was great. Something I always wanted to do, and yeah, it's really nice to make these choices and do new things. It's great fun.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, since I went to film school, I studied directing and writing, and since then I've been making and directing my own films, which has been a really interesting experience. And just how, obviously incredibly informative the experience was as an actress in Harry Potter films and other films. It has been. I just finished directing my third short film last week called Medusa's Ankles. That was like the biggest production I've ever done. My cast and crew of 40 people on a set that we built, and it was just mind-blowing to the fact that I'd created it. And there's also the lead actor is actually an actor you've seen in Harry Potter before, so watch out for that one.
I'm in the middle of doing a couple of TV shows. I'm playing a Victorian policeman in East London, in Ripper Street. I got a crime drama coming out called Happy Valley, which will be on Netflix at some point this year. And then a film out in summer called Me Before You, which is based on the book by Jojo Moyes. And it's, it's a beautiful story, so I really hope you enjoy that one. That'll be out in June.
I'm doing a film at the moment, which I'm not allowed to talk about, which is a shame, but I play a 15-year-old, so that'll be really interesting. But it's taken me, such a long time to decide that acting's what I want to do and stick at. I recently graduated from drama school, and I'm glad I went through the training. So for all of you out there who don't know what you want to do yet, it's fine, it's never too late. Just keep following your dreams and you will get there.
I'm still acting. I have a project coming out this summer, but I find I recently had like a sort of revelation. I was like, I think I started with my favorite thing in the world, and it's really hard to find anything that I like as much, and I'm probably not as good when I don't like the things as much. So I started to just write, because I'd rather write stuff I like and wait for better things to come along. So yeah, just trying to write and act at the moment.
Aaron.
Hi. Over here. House right. Okay. I didn't think we'd have time. This is awesome. I have Elliot here, and I have Elliot's sister. Now, first of all, Elliot has 2 comments that she would like to make. One of them is to Ivana, and one of them is to Rupert. So, Elliot, can you tell Ivana what you want to say to her? Ivana, I thank you twice for Halloween. Yay!
Thank you, I'm flattered.
Now, what did you want to say to Rupert?
Yeah, spiders. I hate spiders.
Elliot's sister, I'm sorry, I didn't get your name. What's your name? Miette. What is your question?
Out of all the films from Harry Potter, what one was your favorite?
I think they change all the time according to sort of the mood I'm in or what I'm liking. I guess for me, the Chamber of Secrets will always hold a really important part for Ginny, and I just loved all of the Tom Riddle's diary and the idea that Voldemort really came into the forefront of that story. I also really loved working with Christopher Columbus, who I often feel is forgotten for the work that he really put into Harry Potter. I think he really established that family in those first two films, and if it weren't for him, I don't think the strength of these characters would have kept to be developed and evolved. So for me, it would be The Chamber of Secrets.
All right, we have time for one more question. Brian, what do you got?
Hey, I've got Bryce from Virginia, and she has a great question for Ivana.
I wanted to know what job you think Luna would have in a couple years after Hogwarts.
Well, actually J.K. Rowling has cleared this up. She becomes a naturalist, or a magizoologist, as I was told today, which is, yeah, she studies magical creatures, and she marries Newt Scamander's grandson. But I also kind of think she would have, I think she would have toured the world. She wouldn't be one to settle down early, and I imagine she kind of started a cult, like a sort of weird religious cult, and they would pray to the Crumplehorn Snorkak and believe in things that you're not sure exist, which, I mean, a lot of religions do that, you know, so she, I think she would, yeah, she would encourage people to be free like that in her cult, and then I think she would get tired of it, and she would leave and abandon them and be a mystery, and yeah, and then she had twin boys, and she lived out her life hunting crazy animals.
Okay. I need a beat. Oh no. I really can't remember the rap. I can remember one line.
Give me one line.
Yeah.
Nailed it. That was perfect.
That was a good beat though.
I love it. Thank you. That was for you. I like the yeah. That was perfect. Guys, that is all the time we have. I'm sorry. Give it up for our panel! Coming out here for you guys. Thank you so much. We love everything you guys do. We appreciate it. And for you guys, thank you so much for joining us for another successful celebration of Harry Potter 2016. We hope to see you guys next year. Who's coming back? On behalf of myself, Austin, Scotty B, we'd like to thank you guys for coming out. Hope to see you next year. See you later. Have a good night, guys.